Anita, Mira. Great stuff. Super. Hey, everyone, we are entering into the final quarter of 2021. Can you believe this is like the final lap of 2021? And then in no time, it's going to be 2022 already. Let me ask you, how many of you are ready to make sure that this final lap, this last quarter of 2021, is going to be absolutely spectacular for you? Type in ready if that's you. Type in ready if that's you. Great, awesome. Big loads already. Aditya, Sumla, Raj, Bhavika, Krishna, ready. And you know what happens? The word ready tends to be followed by another word. Right? We tend to go ready and action. Action, action, action. Take massive action. Be an action taker. Listen, by the end of today, you would have heard this multiple times from pretty much all our expert speakers here. True. And you know what? They're saying that for good reason too. Because listen up, everybody. Listen very carefully here. There are only two ways in which things happen in your life. One way is where things happen to you, and the other way is where things are created by you. See, what happens when things are happening to you, that means you are at the effect of the world. You are at the effect of other people's actions or inactions. And when you're in that state, what happens is you become a victim. In other words, you're a victim of what happens externally. Contrast that with when you are in a by you state, where things are created by you. That is to mean to say that you are effecting change. You are effecting the world around you. In other words, you become a champion. See, how many of you realize that if you want to have the results that you desire in your life, and you know, it could be about more money or better health or greater relationships. And how many of you realize if you want all of those, then you are responsible for creating those. If you believe that to be true for you, type in C for champion, please. Type in C for champion. All right, and loads of champions on here, and it's no accident as well, because if you didn't realize that to be true, then you wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be here, because there's a part of you that desires to effect the change that you desire to see in your life, and that's why you're here. So everybody write this down, please. Write this down, please. Life is like a multi-day ultra marathon. Life is like a multi-day ultra marathon. Now, why do I say that? You see, it's like a multi-day ultra marathon. Every day you need to get up and do it all over again. Every day you want to do better, get better, be better than the previous day. And every day you want to get closer and closer to the finish line that you set for yourself. Now, I happen to know a thing or two about running multi-day ultra endurance races, as you just heard from Sids. I belong to a very elite club of individuals, and it's called the Four Deserts Club. The Four Deserts Club. And what is this club about? This club is made up of top performers who have been to the hottest, the windiest, the driest, and the coldest deserts on this planet. And they are the Sahara Desert, the Gobi Desert, the Atacama Desert, and the Polar Desert of Antarctica. And in each of these places, we run, walk, limp, or crawl, usually in that particular sequence, 250 kilometers per desert, making up a total of 1,000 kilometers. And Time magazine rates this as one of its top 3 endurance competitions in the world. And as of today, just over 200 people in the whole world have accomplished this amazing feat. And one of the things that I've realized, that I've learned being on these races and being with all the other people, the other top performers in these races, is this, that the principles and mindsets for success in a physical race are the same principles, mindsets for success in the race of your life. How many of you understand that? If you understand that, please type "you" in the chat for me, please. If you understand that, type "you." And that's why the people who are attracted to run these races, the people that we see in these competitions, they tend to be at the same time incredibly successful in their lives as well. Why? That is to say that the principles and mindsets are transferable and they are universal. Well, see, think about it this way. If you were struggling in life right now, there's no way you'd be thinking of attempting to run across a desert. Right? If you're drifting in life right now, right, there's no capacity for you to start thinking about multi-day ultra marathons. Right? In other words, if you're overwhelmed right now, there's so much is going on that life is throwing at you, there's just no space to stretch yourself. True? And so today I want to share with you some of these principles and mindsets from the racing world that you can then assimilate and apply into your real world. Now, here's the thing. You know by now that we are in the second half of Super Growth Summit. I have very little time, but I want to give you as much as possible, as much as I can. I'm going to share with you some short stories of people that you can relate to. And then as your coach, I'm going to leave you with some coaching questions for you to take away to think about. Right now, I know I'm in the space, in the room of champions here. So I'm going to be speaking very fast. Okay, I'm going to be speaking very quickly, and you're going to have to keep up with me. All right, you're going to have to keep up with me. If you feel that you can follow me, just type in FY for follow you, please. Type in FY for follow you. Okay, Ravi, we got okay, Dabasu, Chwaya as well. Great stuff. Good, Chinmai. Right, so you're going to follow me. So here's the thing. I want you right now, in this moment, and I know we post-lunch, I want you to sit the way you'll be sitting right now if you're 100% focused, engaged, and elite right now. So think champion and be champion right now. What is it that you need to adjust right now? Because here's the thing, my friends. The first fundamental universal principle here is this. To get to your finish line, you need to get past your start line. All right, in your race of life, if you want to get to your finish line, you need to first get past your start line. Because if you don't get past your start line, there's no chance, there's no way you're going to get anywhere near to your finish line. And this, my friends, is where a lot of people falter. This is where a lot of people get stuck. This is where a lot of people don't get started. And it's the equivalent like this. It's like you are a luxury car, like a Bentley, or maybe some of you prefer a sports car, like a Ferrari. And it could be a gorgeous looking car, a very powerful car, but as long as the car is sitting idle in the garage, in the showroom, or in your parking lot, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. The car's not going to go anywhere until what happens? Until this happens. Listen carefully. In other words, when you press the ignition key, or when you press the ignition button, or you turn the ignition key, that's when you ignite the car in life. My friends, if you want to get to the finishing line, you need to ignite yourself to life. Otherwise, you're just going to be procrastinating. You're going to be taking a long time to get started. You're going to find that you're not taking action. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be distracted. You're going to be getting stuck and getting nowhere. Does this sound familiar to anybody here, right? Just type in F for familiar for me, please. See, one of the things that I hear a lot of people say when they hear of these races and they go like, oh my gosh, like 250 kilometers, I can't do that. Listen carefully. People say, I can't do that. And that's where I interrupt them. And I say, your sentence is incomplete. It's not that you can't do. In fact, what it is that you can't think of a compelling reason to do. In other words, it's got nothing to do with your ability. And what you want to do is to catch yourself and go, I can't do that. I'm not able to do that. Just pause for a moment because your potential is pretty much near infinite. Your limits of what you can do or what you can't do is further and farther than you think. And so rather than try to force upon an affirmation, oh, I can. No, that's artificial and that's forced. Let's look at the right place. Let's look at what is that compelling reason, right? Compelling is the key word here. From Latin, compelle, com with, pelle, move. In other words, a compelling reason is the reason that would move you. So if you're feeling stuck, you're thinking, I'm going to set a new goal, there's some results I want to have, ask yourself this question. What is so compelling about this goal for you? And I'll tell you this reason needs to be getting you from just merely intellectual to being integral, right? Intellectual to being integral. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example here, right? We've got a client on one of our programs, Milind, amazing man, powerful man. And he's been stuck in a business relationship, right? That hasn't been working out, right? So they've ended up the relationship and they've got all these ideas. We could do this, we could do that, but still stuck, still lost, can't get moving. And that was the problem because he was focused on the ideas, intellectual. Intellectual doesn't move. Integral will move. What I mean by integral also involves the emotional. And I asked Milind, I said, what is it that's going to get you to move? You know what? All this time, the answer was right under his very nose. And his little girl, he's got this gorgeous little baby, right? As a pretty new father. And he says, this girl,
Every day she's looking at you. Every day she's watching you. Every day she's learning the lesson of life from you. And Minnie's like, I love my daughter. I'd do anything for her. Absolutely. You see, my friends, you've got all these different goals, you've got all these dimensions of life. They are not compartmentalized. They're all integral in terms of who you are. So I want you to take away this coaching question. What does your heart beat for? What your heart beats for is what's going to get you to move. What drives you? I had this Australian lady in her 50s, late 50s. We were talking about her financial goals. And she's saying, I want to accumulate property. She wants to build this property portfolio. But she hasn't even got past the first one. Right? And she's been trying it for years, trying to do this, and it didn't work out or it fell through. And I thought, something's not working here. This lady is a smart lady. It's not that she's not smart. What's going on here? So I decided I was going to do a coaching process with her. And you know what? Midway through the process, she just drops. And she starts shaking and she starts sobbing uncontrollably. And I let her go through that. And at the end of it, I said, what was that about? And then she said, you know what? I kind of get it now. She said, I've got this older brother. Right? She said, since they were young, this older brother has always been the center of attention. A parents, a family, extended family, and the neighbors. He always got attention. It was something that she resented from childhood all the way through to adult.